Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world. And before I start getting into everything, I just want to let you guys know that I will be putting timestamps down below. So this will be broken up into chapters, and you'll understand why. Although the topics are all pretty much going to go into each other, like they're going to be pretty smooth segues. I do want to break them up in chapters for sure because I do have a little bit to talk about. But of course, the first thing I do want to talk about is my newest purchase today, where I went to Frank's Music. It was a nice day, so I biked down there, and I got myself what I call a mini box set. Now, I do have other box sets, okay, similar to this. So I call it a mini box set. I do have some bigger ones, like my Matthew Sweet and Susanna Hoff box set. I consider that a bigger of a box set, and I have my Rush box set, which has 7 CDs. It's all from a certain period. Of course, I got all the Rush, of course, but I do have a bit of a box set rather than the individual albums for a certain period. But just like those, I do have what I call mini box sets, like this Joe Satriani. And here, these are the epic ones, of course, they're by Sony, and I do have like four of them. So I have of course, Joe Satriani and another Joe Satriani covers 10 albums right there in just two little box sets, and they're pretty inexpensive. Then there's of course, I got a mini one for the Steve Vai, and these are, of course, if you're from Epic, they're the original album classics, including this Prong here too, of course, and this another mini box set. But yeah, I can't forget, of course, Quiet Riot. I do have the original album classics of Quiet Riot too, and that's 5 CDs. But this one, the new one that I bought, is more in line with this, which is the original album series, and I have the Ministry ones, and this, of course, is distributed by a Rhino Entertainment Company. This is under Warner Music Group, also Sire, and this, of course, is under the same management as that. Not like the Epic ones that I have that I show you. So what I got today, because I'm a fan of this band, and I know some people might like turn their nose up at it, and it's like, you're into that kind of music. It's like, yeah, I'm into that kind of music. So I bought a little mini box set of Rat, 5 albums, the original album series, of course, which includes Out of the Cellar, Invasion of Your Privacy, Dancing Undercover, Reach for the Sky, and Detonator. And especially the first two, Out of the Cellar and Invasion of Your Privacy, I remember really loving those. So yeah. So now I'm going to open it up and show you what's inside. There's not much. It's just basically the album. There's no cover. There's no other like. There's no like this bonus stuff in there. It's just basically the album. So I'll show you each one. So yeah, I finally opened it. So of course you get the Let's see. I want to make sure. Oh, that's interesting. Where's the? Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. Out of the Cellar. Yeah. Invasion of Your Privacy. So dance, dancing undercover. There's reach for the sky, and the last one here, which would be detonator. Yeah, that's the that's the right side up. Yeah, detonator. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing the last couple because I don't think I ever heard those. I only basically know the first two. And yeah, the last ones, yeah, I have no idea. So I'm interested in hearing some new stuff for sure. It's going to take a couple of days to go through that because I am listening to other stuff in the meantime too. So, and once I'm done, I'll give you a review of this for sure. For sure, let you know what I think. Now, the second part of this video, okay, and there's going to be a chapter break here. I want to talk to you guys about what is this categorized as now. When it comes to genres, okay, I see I personally see a distinction between what they call hair metal, which I think Rat is more hair metal than glam. Now, you go and Google glam rock, and there's a whole list of bands under that banner of glam rock that I do not consider like they're not glam rock. Okay, you got Rat. Now I consider them more hair metal than glam rock. And when I talk about glam rock, the bands that I'm really thinking of as glam rock would be bands like Poison, Cinderella, Faster Pussycat, Steel Panther, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Winger, Warrant, Europe, just to name a few. Um, what would you say about Def Leppard? Are they a hair metal band or are they a glam band? Again, I don't consider them a glam band. Def Leppard is definitely not glam. They're hair metal. As I would say with this here, okay? This is the very best of 80s metal, and it says now hair this because these bands here are labeled under hair metal. I do not consider any bands on this glam. No, you got Warrant. Well, okay, Warrant maybe. That's on the edge. Okay, that's on the edge. I mean, they are under. I had said Warrant before, but that's kind of came up in my mind. But bands like Accept, no, that's not glam. Absolutely not. Quiet Riot, Quiet Riot is not glam. It's under there. It's under the heading of glam, but it's definitely not glam at all. Um, Dangerous Toys. That's not that's more hair metal. Even yeah, I know Europe's on here too, but I consider them more glam than a little bit more glam than hair metal in some ways. What would you say would be the defining characteristics of glam? Okay, would you call David Bowie glam rock or glam whatever because he wears the outfits and that? Well, okay. How about Kiss? Do you consider them a glam rock or glam metal band? Nope, I don't. I don't at all. I consider them hard rock, or yeah, they're not a hair metal band. They're not glam, but they are under that category of glam. Like like this, like Aerosmith, for example. That's categorized under glam. Look, it's hair metal at best, okay, but it's more hard rock. It's more hard rock. Both eras. This is like the old cool classics, and this is the newer classics. It covers both eras of Aerosmith. Killer Dwarf is under was under glam, categorized as glam. Not to me. That's hair metal. That is hair metal, and yeah, definitely hair metal. The darkness, hair metal, not glam. You know. Now here's one that's going to twist your brain a little bit of where I like a lot of people would look at them and say that's glam. But you compare this next group with like the Cinderellas or the Poisons or the Faster Pussycats. Those three in particular, I consider those not hair metal, but yeah, that's glam. That is the poster child of glam. Poison, Cinderella, and Faster Pussycat. But where does Twisted Sister fall on that? Do you consider Twisted Sister glam? I don't. I never really saw. I never saw them as glam. Not really. Hair metal, kinda. Yeah. Look at the outfits. How outrageous it is with the. But it's more clownish. Look at the bright colors of like it's comic book colors. The bright, primary red, primary yellow, primary blue. It's it's more mocking glam, glam rock than anything else. Yeah, I consider them hard rock, and I consider them maybe more of a hair metal band than a glam band. Definitely, bands like Guns N' Roses. That's not a glam band. No, that's a hard rock. Or that's either hard rock or at least hair metal. You know. Um, Scorpions. Why is Scorpions again put under glam? Like all these bands I'm showing you, they're all under the banner of glams. Like like the Darkness, like the Killer Dwarfs and everything. Glam. Why? Why is that considered glam? I don't get it. So I'm going to say you guys give me your opinion of what if you consider some of these glam or like Wasp, the band Wasp. That's not glam. That's kind of metal. More. It's more hair metal than it is glam. Um, Van Halen. Van Halen is under the banner of glam. No, no, Van Halen is not glam whatsoever. I will never ever confuse Eddie Van Halen or that music as glam. No, no. Remember, Faster Pussycat, Cinderella, Poison. That's more glam. Like even the Wingers and the Europe of the world. Motley Crue. As much as I would love to call them hair metal, they are kind of in the glam area in some sense. So it's a degree. They're on the border. They're definitely on the border, but I tend to think that they lean just a little more towards the hair metal than they do the glam. Just saying, just saying. All right, so now I want to talk about something because it is an anniversary for someone. Okay, not necessarily a good anniversary, but I want to talk about a genre of music and this particular artist because this particular artist and this band in particular is the primary shot that killed glam rock. And what killed glam rock? And I would have to pinpoint this album, grunge. The very start of grunge is Nirvana, Nevermind, and this is what killed glam. I'm not necessarily a big glam rock type of fan. I don't mind the Poison and Cinderella and Faster Pussycat or Motley Crue. I will want yes a Motley Crue, but that's sort of kind of you know yeah, I have my limits for but I don't want again I'd rather call them hair metal bands than glam. Glam is just kind of a I don't know. It's not a very good term that I like. So yeah. You guys tell me what you think and where that border line lies between glam rock and yeah. Glam rock is a cheap form of entertainment in some sense. Okay, maybe I still do like it. I still do like it. That's probably why I bought the. Yeah, that's probably why I bought the rat stuff today because where did I put that now? Where did I put my rat? Did I bury it? Yeah, I think I buried it. Yeah, right under all that. So that I think that's why I bought that because I do actually like some of that hair metal stuff and rat like yeah it's I consider it on the line. But today also why I wanted to make maybe two separate videos about this. Okay, I was thinking do I want to bring this up in glam, but of course, it does kind of fit because it killed glam. Never mind. Like Nirvana killed glam. So today, if you haven't clued in yet, because today we are Saturday, but we are also April the 5th. April 5th, which marks the the anniversary of the passing of Kurt Cobain. So in honor, not being mournful. That was 31 years ago. 31 years ago, and I still remember that day. The day when the next day, the day after, when I found out about it, I called in sick from work, which I never do, which I never ever do. But I called in sick, and I spent the whole day just basically watching Much Music, where they were honoring Kurt Cobain the whole day. So, and I thought it was fitting. I did my morning. I did my morning, and I did my and so now I know some people have a hard time listening to Nirvana nowadays because of they associate they associate Nirvana with the passing of Kurt Cobain, and it's too sad for them. And I understand. Yeah, I'm not downplaying that at all. It's just that the music, I still really enjoy the music. I think all this stuff is masterpieces. In fact, I will be playing this tonight before the night is over, just to again to honor and commemorate the greatness of Nirvana and Kurt Cobain and the performance that they pulled off on that, which I still really love. This is a 10 out of 10. All these are 10 out of 10s for me. But yeah, when it came to something that killed, this band is the top of the list of what you know nullified and got rid of that glam, the whole notion of glam rock and glam metal. After that is, let's call it hair metal. Glam has a negative connotation to it. But yeah, so take a few moments of silence for yourselves if you want to, remember Kurt Cobain in your own way. But I'm not ever going to let his passing deter me from ever listening to these. I think these should be honored and treasured. These are gifts, that he gave us before he, before he, did what he did. All right. So, also, the last thing I want to kind of talk about related to that last subject, is that when it comes to like, I want my channel to promote nothing but positivity. I want this to be a safe place for people to come and visit and talk about music, and if you have like any type of problems that you need, I can try my best to be empathetic and sympathize with you in that. But in all, I want to focus on the positive. There's somebody who's a Facebook friend, and he does videos here and there. He does some mixing and makes music in that. But I find there's a certain sadness and a certain darkness to it, and it's kind of a turn off. I was like, I kind of want to shine light into the world and not be, you know, covered up in darkness and gloominess and kind of melancholy. I know some people gravitate towards that. You got the emos, and you got even the grunge scene was kind of a melancholy type of a darker tone in a sense. But I just want to remind everybody that like, especially from here on in, this is every now and then I might touch on the darker tones, but more often than not, like 99% of the time, I want my channel to be, positive and a ray of sunshine. And I'm going to try to work on my humor. I've done some humor in the past, and it didn't work out right. I thought I was funny, but I think I might have offended a few people with my humor, and I don't want to offend people. My humor is meant to be lighthearted and kind of, I want it to be topical too, and I want it to be a little bit of a commentary on social developments and, always a studio humanitatis, studia humanitatis studio, the studio for the study of humanity. I'm always poking and prodding and and trying just to make life better for everybody. That's my goal. And so also on top of that, just to let everybody also know that don't worry about my mental health. Lately, I've been doing much better, and this is kind of a point of why I'm bringing up this last thing because I know I'm mixing all this together. These were supposed to be separate episodes, but I'm mixing it all up in one mixed bag. I'm almost done, but there were times, in the past couple of years, at least 2 to 3 years, where I've been going through a roller coaster of ups and downs. Everything from changing jobs from doing a movie theater job to a courier job to looking and trying to find roommates and going through some stress. But always throughout all those hard times that I went through in the last 2.5 years to 3 years, okay, because there were some transitions, and even now my job is physical. Like yesterday, it really kind of my job is taking this toll on me sometimes, and I was I wanted to make a video yesterday, but I was just kind of too not feeling bad, like not emotionally, but I was fatigued. I was really like kind of overtired and just like couldn't really. I just wanted to veg out a little bit yesterday. As much as I wanted to make a video for you guys yesterday, you know I was feeling a little, yeah, a little bit like just vegging out and not doing much, and just like, because yeah, work wipes me out. As much as I do enjoy it, though, I am having, and like my stress from work that I was having a couple of weeks ago, yeah, it's it's mitigated. It's really like not a problem at all anymore. And like I am happy with my channel and everything. And okay, I'm gonna start babbling. I'll let you go now because now I can start talking in circles. Because all I want to say basically is don't take your mental health for granted. I always like to say that to never compromise your peace of mind for anything, because you will always end up losing both. No matter what. Protect your peace of mind. Try to see the positive. Try to always, you know, and try to have some what I call emotional perseverance. Being able being able to get through any ordeal, regardless of how bad it may seem. It's you gotta guard your thoughts. You gotta guard your mind against any intrusive, dark thoughts. And yeah, protect your peace of mind. It's the most important thing you have, along with your health. Because the more you can protect your peace of mind will be thankful and help you protect your physical health as well. So you cannot have one without the other. They're a package combo. All right, so I love you guys. You know that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I will love you even more if you do, for sure, and greatly appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit the like button, because I always appreciate that also. Comment. Tell me what you think of all what I just, your debate with between glam. What you think of glam music? Do you like glam music? Do you hate it? Do you see a difference, a distinction between hair metal, glam metal, and even like hard rock? Like how again, how can you mistake Aerosmith or Kiss for as glam rock? No, no, no. I completely disagree with that. All right, everybody, take care. Be safe. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.